welcome to the Capitol. We are here with Representative Shane Jett. Shane, thanks for taking your time with us.
It's an honor to be here. It's always a pleasure to be able to talk to my constituents, and appreciate you making this possible for not only myself, but the other legislators you're extending this opportunity to.
Well, this is a lot of fun up at the Capitol, learning so much just by engaging with you guys. There's a wealth of knowledge going on around here that impacts all of us. Talk to us a little bit about this first week and what it's meant for your district and your representation.
There's a lot of things going on this first week, and most of it's behind the scenes in the committee meetings that you can actually monitor online. One of the fun things that happen, and the fun thing about being a representative, is frequently we'll get celebrities that'll come up that are pushing particular legislative agendas. We had the interview with the Bowser, Shana, and he was here promoting an industry that's very important to Oklahoma, and that's the music industry, and gave a great presentation, was on the House floor, did a little rendition of Shana Nana, and is pushing legislation to protect the artists who are out producing music and make sure they're not being identity theft. And we have a lot of Oklahomans who would benefit from that, or famous individuals who've come from Oklahoma. So I was very excited about that. A couple years ago, we had B.J. Thomas and his wife Gracie in. And I'm actually working on a piece of legislation that's going to be heard next week that is modeled after Ireland's economic recovery. One of the packages that they did is try to stimulate movie stars, actors, and artists of significance to move residents into Ireland. And so we basically taken that legislation, adapted it to Oklahoma's tax code, and we're trying to encourage, all famous Oklahomans to look at coming back home. Brad Pitt, you and Angelina need to be back here in Oklahoma. Reba needs to have a domicile here. Of course, Garth Brooks is already here. Toby Keith is very involved here. But we want to make it almost unfathomable for them to actually be looking anywhere else from a tax purpose to live besides here. They need to have the third or fourth home here, but they need to be here. So we've modeled it after Ireland. We're willing to look and see what the rest of the world's doing, and we're willing to adapt it to make it an Oklahoma model. But I think this creates a lot of opportunity for Oklahomans to take care of their property, provide security, limousine service, whatever they need, and they get to invest in home, and this is where it all starts. Chuck Norris is from Wilson, Oklahoma. He doesn't need to be in Dallas right now. He needs to be in Oklahoma. So that's something that we're working on. We're always trying to come up with new ideas to try to promote the state, and there's a lot of fun things that's going on this year to do that.
You know, I like it that my friend, Representative Jett, is starting to think Irish. Because, you know, nothing but good things can happen that way.
I'm half Irish, so half Irish and Cherokee, and then probably a random sample of what is the U.S. So it's Heinz 57. So,
and we will, if you stay tuned, you're going to see Bowser in an interview, and you'll learn a little bit more about how a citizen can become involved and actually make a difference in their state, but also nationwide. You can make a difference. Shane, how important is it to you that all of us engage with you?
It's incredibly important. This is a representative form of government. If you're not in contact with me, if you're not talking to me, telling me what your issues are, telling me what your concerns are, it limits my ability to represent you in an honest and meaningful manner. So call me, email me, and if you're outside of my House district, find out who your representative is and let them hear from you. We're off on Fridays. A great time to call us and request us to come by for coffee or something. Sit down at a coffee shop, gives an opportunity to shake a bunch of hands, but most importantly, hear from you and find out what's important, because we take those life experiences that we may not have, but we have them through you vicariously, and we share them on the House floor, we share them in committee, and at the end of the day, you're our employers, and if we don't hear from you, we don't know we're doing a good job because you haven't allowed us to know that. So we're doing everything we can to be out and be a part of the community, but you have a responsibility as well, because this is a democracy and you're in charge. So get involved, stay informed, and remember that the world is ran by people who just show up.
And that's what we talk about, accountability and transparency, and very often I can apply that to you and to other legislators and those who govern, but really I need to apply it to myself. I am accountable to the democratic process, and talking about fun things. I know you travel and you get great ideas from outside the state. You pulled some things from New Orleans. You've pulled some things now from Ireland. How about the big idea that you've got pulled right here from the roots of Oklahoma to span our great river? Talk a little bit about that if you can, just because I think this is a cool idea.
Well, this is, I think, an opportunity for us to pay homage to how the state of Oklahoma got started. Oklahoma is made up of innovators and people who are problem solvers, coming from our Native American roots, as well as a lot of people came from Ireland and staked out homes right here in Oklahoma, but they create something from nothing. And when our nation was in fact the entire world,
Yeah.
had an energy crisis and we were running out of well oil, we found rock oil, what is now petroleum. And Oklahoma was one of the leaders in petroleum exploration because we were blessed with an incredible deposit of petroleum under our soil. And a lot of innovation came out of the state of Oklahoma that applies both in parallel technologies for petroleum as well as water. And what I'm proposing is a giant oil derrick to span the river here in Oklahoma City that will commemorate the impact the petroleum industry has made on Oklahoma, but especially what Oklahoma has made an impact on the rest of the world. Petroleum at that time was the alternative fuel, and we are now researching in switchgrass and algae and other technologies. So I believe it's going to honor those who came before us that created solutions, and now we want to inspire a new generation to come up with new opportunities, new innovations, so that we can continue to lead the world with an example. And what better way to do that than to build a big tower that says, hey, it started here in Oklahoma, and we're going to continue to provide solutions for the rest of the nation. So I'm excited about it, and we can talk more about this at another time. It's a big project.
And you know I'm excited about it. I was born in St. Louis, Missouri at the time of Cervantes' Folly, and that was what's now known as the Gateway Arch. People back then thought it was a folly, and now it is known around the world, just like Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with the good ideas like that one. And we're going to try to get a windmill on the other side for the future, too.
I like that idea. That's good. The past, the future. It's Oklahoma.
There we go. Both huger than life. Shane, thank you very much for inviting us up.
My pleasure.
And thank you for being with us each week.
It's an honor to be here. Thanks for doing this.